Alright everyone, this is just well, I'll try and make it quick. For those people more about casino, I just want to show you a good basket technique for trading. Basically with indicators from the Asian stock market and the world stock market, commodities, things like that that are showing for which way, good indicators for which way the currencies might be moving for the day, or at least the London session, primarily. So if we look, we're in a risk sort of off scenario at the moment. I'll just show you a little bit of the reasons why I think this. The ASX has already dropped 1.95%, the Shanghai has dropped 1.3%, Hang Seng 2%, Nikkei 1.4%. There's a big sell-off. The part of the reason is just comments that have been coming out with people thinking that the low interest rates aren't doing anything, which they're not. QE's not doing anything, but they've come out and kind of said that they're unsure if keeping the interest rates low is worth doing. In other words, central banks may start raising interest rates a lot quicker than it's expected. So a lot of people have loaned out the money at zero interest or very low interest rates, and now they'll start hiking up the interest rates. Risk scenario normally comes about from that. There's a couple of articles that I've had a little read of. So Japan shares drop, basically what I just said. I'll put that up on the Google Plus, Asian stock market, same sort of thing. If we do have a little look at this guy here, you'll see on Friday these guys, S&P dropped 2.45%, which is the biggest since the Brexit sort of area. Dow Jones 2.1. They're all dropping. They're all dropping a lot. Whether you get on too late or not, that is the problem. You can see already that the yen has appreciated a lot because of this. Everyone's getting their money out of shares, putting it into the yen, Swiss franc, euro. These currencies start appreciating. We can see from just a little bit of energy here, the indexes on commodities are dropping. Energy, crude has been dropping for a couple of days now. WTI, TI, and Brent all dropping. Gold, copper, silver, all dropping. So commodities are taking a bit of a hit at the moment, which obviously the commodity producers like Australia, Canada, New Zealand are all dropping as well. So I can show you what I mean. This is where I'll get the information to know if you're in risk on, risk off. Follow these sorts of things. Have a look. When you start getting big red percentage marks like this, you know that you're in a risk off. It goes through phases where you get periods of time where there's a lot of risk on, risk off. Started this year with the Chinese stock market sort of meltdown there. There was a lot of risk on, risk off, bounce back, overcorrections, things like that. If you can see these as indicators, you can trade them, and you can trade them quite well. First of all, I'll show you a little bit on casino. If people through it again, I know Pete and Luke might be interested in having a look. What I want to do is I want to grab the safe haven currencies, so yen, Swiss franc. I'm not going to worry about the euro. It's a little bit too volatile at the moment. Don't really want to trade them. But I'll grab all of these guys, and you do that just by clicking the button for the Swiss franc, clicking the button for the yen, and you click open packages. So that will go through, open up all of those currency pairs. I have it set on a default template, so it comes up how I want with an RSI, giving me a quick, easy glance at if it is oversold or overbought. I'll quickly go through and I'll pick out Euro Yen, where they're both sort of safe havens. Euro Yen, Swiss franc yen. Get rid of those guys. Left with a couple here. Now, they've already been selling off far too much, really. As you can see here, we're under the 25 mark for RSI. Again here, Australia, Japan, we're looking at about the same. And same with the Canada Swiss franc. Now, it could keep going down, but what I'm hoping for is a little pullback before the London, and then a sell-off again at the start of the London. That's what I'm assuming will happen, and that's what I want to trade on if it does happen. If it doesn't happen and it keeps going down, I've missed my opportunity. It is already too late. You don't want to jump in and have the herd mentality that it is just going to keep going. It's too risky. You want to wait for a pullback and then get in. The way I do that is basically I've set up what's called a hook and go template. So I can just bring that up as an indicator for you. If I go to indicator list, I'll go here, go to my indicators, and we'll bring on the hook and go, which is for casino. So it has to be related to casino to do the hook and go. Super hook and go, that's it there. We'll just drop her on there to have a look at it. Now, these pins relate to casino, so you need to set them to be correct. I'll set pin 2 as true. You want your session times. You'll see when I hit that to come on what that does, but it will basically set to where your hook and go goes to. Your buffer multiplier is basically how far past it needs to go to trigger the trade. So I won't trigger it straight away. It needs to go past a certain part. Your fixed take profit, things like that. You can have a jumping stop loss, so it will jump to the bottom of each one, trading it down, so it will be a certain amount of pips behind the last candle. This is all 1 hour candles as well, by the way. Vertical position is just where it actually sits on your chart. Now I'm going to cancel that because I've already got a template, which I'm happy to give out if people need it. So that's it there. I've got it there, so it sits up there, and then it actually will draw the line from where you want it. That's a little bit higher for me. I kind of want it to come from here, and then I'm hoping it bounces back up above it, and then when it goes straight back down, it will take the trade. So indicator list, I'll bring that all down for you. Go into it. The way you change it is just by changing it here. So if we look at this here, that's the end of 17, that was the end of 18, end of 19, end of 20, end of 21. So about the end of 21, end of 22, end of 23 might do it. We'll just test it out. So yeah, there we go. I don't think you can do end of 24. Doesn't work for some reason. Test it out, but I don't think it does. 23.59 might do it. Now, so we're going from there, which is fine. It needs to basically bounce up past it, and then go back down. So we're hoping for a nice retrace during the Asian session. If we get it, we don't get it. That is fine. As we're looking at it anyway, we would be well oversold anyway. So that's why you should get a bounce back. It should come back up and go down. If it does go back up there, we will then be in a buying section of our RSI between those two. So how you do that, I'm going to save that template to do it on all of them. So we'll go to here, go save template. I kind of want to call it a hook and go, but 2, because I kind of like that hook and go. So we'll just call it that. So if we go here, it's right there. So you got to think of these actually start at 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember it's number 4. So if you go back here, you click on your template little button here, which brings up this guy. Put in what template number it is, 4. You have to do it on the casino one here, so it doesn't change that, but it will change all your other ones. Now, if you bring this one here up, you'll see the hook and go has now gone on all of them. This guy here, New Zealand Swiss franc, is actually already in buying mode. I reckon that it needs to go past the bottom of this candle, 0.3. So it'd have to move a third of the distance, which is like 4.5. So if it moves 4.5 under here, it would actually take that trade. So we could go here, click on pin 2 to see if anything's on. No. So at the moment, not triggering, but it looks like it could soon. Everything else, as you can see, is already pretty low. I don't really want anything to trigger just yet. The Swiss franc coming back up is quite good. I would like that guy there to come up a bit and then hopefully get the coming down. With the news, people putting money into the Swiss franc should drop the sterling. So we go through, we know which ones we've got: Australian Swiss franc, USD yen. We just want to make sure you don't want to trigger anything that's oversold. So USD yen, that's not a bad one. I'll leave that open and running just in case. So we'll click on USD yen. Actually, I'll load casino set. So this is another set file that I've put in here, so you don't always have to do it. Now we're basing on 25k here, so I'll just be looking at 5% on 25k, and 50 pips is all I'll be after. So that would work out your lot size pretty easily just by doing that. So if you go $10 a pip, 50 pips, that's 500. At 5% of 10,000. So if you're going 10,000, you're looking at 500. If you're going 20,000, you're looking at 1,000. If you're going 25,000, you're looking at 1,250. So that would be your equity take profit, and 1,250 divided by the 50 pips would give you the 50 divided by 50 pips would give you the lot size. So lot size of 25 if you had $25,000, which is divided by 10, so that's 2.5. Is your lot size. Max is fair enough. You leave all that. I'm not going to go through all of these. If you need this set file, let me know. Yeah, it's too hard to go through all of this. Since we're going for 1,250, you might want to set some of these equity locks. Just so you can lock in some profit as you go. Didn't really think that one through, but at least we'll lock stuff in. You need to do that first, otherwise if you go through and tick all these and make a buy and sell and set it up, you will end up having to do it again anyway. So now that's sort of set up, so my equity lock will lock in when I get to 250. What I have to do is change, oh yeah, lot size is right, okay. Equity lock, take profit. It takes you a while to get there, it's the only way you can get there, but basically I need to get to 1,250. which is basically what I'm going on based if I had 25k. This is demo. I don't have 25k in a live account that I'll trade this strategy with. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing that unless you have traded this strategy for many years. So almost there. Set it up. There's that. Hit show graph, basket equity. That will show you when you take your trade. Pin 2 is what we're looking at. We already have trades now. So if we look at Great Britain, Swiss franc, but it's giving me buys. So I only want to sell. I don't want to buy this. USD should be weakening against the Swiss franc. So we go through and we make it a sell. And we turn it on. As long as you see we're not in any oversold, overbought, which we're not. We're actually having a nice pullback. That one's set. Australia Swiss franc. We're in a over. We don't like that. We're too sold off. USD yen is right for the picking. We will hit sell for that and we'll turn it on. New Zealand. It's very choppy this morning. Some big movements. It will end up going down here and up, so it won't trigger anything for a while, but that's fine. New Zealand Swiss franc, same sort of deal. The yen hasn't depreciated as much as the Aussie. Great Britain. And sell it off. Same with the sterling Swiss franc. Sell it off. We're just down to CAD. CAD and oil have been going downhill very fast. It's still not in oversold, overbought. Needs to bounce back to trigger the trade anyway. So the idea of the hook and go, it needs to be basically pointing upwards, above where it was. So it needs to get above there, and then it needs, from that point, it needs to go a third of what the last candle was below it to trigger a trade. So if you've got a candle like that of 9, it will need to go 3 pips below it, then it will set your trade. CAD Swiss franc is oversold. Australia yen bouncing back. We'll chuck that guy on as well. Sold. Pin. Only thing now, you got to set this to stop at 1. And that is actually about it. You can set your stop loss. I'd normally set it at about a half or 3%. So if that's 5% of that, you want to set it about 3%, which will be about $800. That's just going off the top of my head. That's just the basis of how I would basket trade it. You wouldn't hope for all these to trigger at the same time, as that is a lot of trades. That's 6, so that's 8 in a basket. It's a fair bit. You might be a little bit over leveraged if you're going 8 in a basket of 2.5 lots. That's a lot. You'll find that it will eat your money up very quickly if it goes against you. But something like that is what I would do. You saw why, the rationale behind my trades. You've seen how I've sort of set it up. You've seen how I've gone about it with looking at it, and that should help everyone out.